the near win and the great riding that he had. It's Chase Sexton. What's up, Chase? How are you, man?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. I appreciate you after a crappy night like that, willing to come on the show, man. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. It's nice to be on after. It's always nice to be on the show because that's usually you did good the weekend before. But
right.
It's an honor to be on after I didn't win.
Ah, man, I can't believe it. Just so close, so close, and watching the crash back. Do you remember much of it? Do you remember everything that went on?
Oh yeah, I remember the whole thing.
Okay.
That's why where everyone's kind of like, everyone is kind of freaking out because I didn't stumble getting up, but it was almost like I was in shock because I was so like, I don't know, I was just so like mind blown that it happened.
Yeah.
But I remember the whole night I passed, like they took me to the health evaluation in the semi in the A-Star semi, and I passed everything they tested me with.
Right. Okay.
But they ended up, the medics that came back that met me on the track are the ones that said that I had a concussion. But I think I was just so caught off guard, and I don't know, honestly, like I remember everything. So, now I feel like perfectly fine. I don't feel like I have like any like symptoms of a concussion. I don't feel like I have anything really.
Right.
So
what people don't understand is he's raced for almost 20 minutes. His heart rate's 190. All right, and then you crash, it goes up even more.
Yeah.
You'd be a little stumbly too.
It was a hard hit.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
It was tough.
Yeah, dude. And the force and the torque of your wheel, of everything that went through the wheel, like that's gnarly. That's insane. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with the wheel, the whole thing. I don't know if it was. I cased that table I cased that on-off when we were quadding. I cased it once behind Cooper, and I don't know if I loosened it up or something because I don't know, it's just weird. The wheel would have broke right there, but I don't know. It was.
Well, I was talking to John. I was talking to John Anderson from W, and he had reminded me of Blake Baggett had the same thing happen to him at Anaheim a few years back. He was passing for the lead. He came in, he stuck
in the split section.
Yeah, he stuck the front end, and his wheel folded from the crash.
Really?
So I was like, oh yeah,
Maybe something similar.
Yeah, I remember that. So, yeah, and what sucks is like, okay, so mistakes happen, and just if you just had pushed the front end and just dropped the bike, get back up, you're still probably leading. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Yeah. You have a split second to decide. Front end's going. What do I do?
Yeah, there was no say. By the time I knew the front end was going, I was already going off the jump. So there was no reaction to what was going to happen because it happened so fast, and I hadn't had like I said, I was 20 laps in, 20 minutes into the race. It hadn't happened before that, so I wasn't expecting it. And it was. I wish honestly, if it would have just slid off the face, and like you said, I would have fell. Obviously, I would have fell over, but I at least could have got to a podium or something. Not pretty much a DNF. I did DNF, but I ended up 16th because it was that late in the race. But,
right.
It's just unfortunate because that was a big moment because I lost a lot of points.
And you lost a lot of money too. I know you lost a lot of money too.
I don't even honestly at this point. I told people the money does not bother me, but the win, I train my ass off to win races, and then you come one lap away from it, and it doesn't happen. I wanted to. There was some dark moments that night, man. I was very, very frustrated. I had to walk through the pits and then up and kind of into the crowd, and people were asking me what's going on, and people are drinking in that point, so they're kind of loud, and I was just, dude, I was so mad that I'm just please get me out of this place. I was I was so fired up. I could have snapped at any moment.
Walking up the ramp, you mean, out there, outside?
Well, no, I went up the elevator, and then it takes you basically to the main concourse trying to get out.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, so, because right, yep.
Yeah, not that it's their fault. I was in a bad mood because of what I did. So, it was, it was a dark night that night because, man, it was. I felt like I had a really good day overall. My riding practice. Yeah. I only missed the first. Went pretty much fastest free practice, fastest first qualifying. I was second in the second qualifying, and then I won my heat race. So it was pretty much almost a perfect night for me. And I don't know, because there wasn't really. I mean, I was so in a good flow and was actually having fun, and then that happened. But you know, we're able to fight another day, and there's another race this weekend, so that's exciting.
The Giselle is what I say.
Oh, the Giselle.
The Giselle.
Yeah. Right.
I was actually going to ask you, what does that? Does that mean?
Okay.
What does that mean?
Okay, so I typed about this in my column, which you probably don't read because you don't give a shit about it. But Giselle Bundchen is super hot, right? You're familiar with her?
Yeah.
So I relate Giselle to your riding style. Like when I watch you ride, it's unbelievable. It's the best riding style out there right now. Like I watch you ride, and I think if any other amateur kid watches you ride, they could pick up a lot by how you ride.
Yep.
So your style is the supermodel of Supercross, but it's like taking Giselle home sometimes, right? And then she farts. And you're like, I cannot believe she just did that. She's so beautiful, right? It's like you when you crash. It's so unexpected because you're perfect, and all of a sudden, bam! Just like in Minneapolis, you were walking down the runway, hot as hell, and all of a sudden you let one go, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? So for me, that's the Giselle thing. That's where that comes from.
I've seen the comment a few times. I was wondering kind of what it was. I think someone tried to explain it to me once, and I kind of.
You're just like, yeah.
So I thought that's what I was kind of getting at. Like I thought that's what it kind of meant, but I wasn't 100% sure. But yeah, it caught me just as much off guard as it did, I think, everybody else.
Hey Chase, Jim Hawley here. Like Kiefer said, you remind me, and you have the number. David Bailey had the number 23, and he rode for Factory Honda, and you remind me a lot of him as far as your mannerisms and how you go about and how you break down the track and everything. I just had one question. After something like that happens, do you go back and look at the footage and go, how can I fix this so it doesn't happen again in Dallas?
Yeah, I mean, I've analyzed pretty much every one of my crashes, especially like even last year. Last year, the ones that I did crash, those things, like, I had no idea what was happening. This one, it was just, what happened, I think, was I set the corner up, like, better than I had. Like, that corner I actually was struggling in a little bit because I was kind of standing it up, and the corner was, like, it turned, but it didn't turn, like, a 180. It kind of turned, and then it went, like, kind of turned off the face of that jump, so you never were really going straight.
Right.
And I was actually kind of coming in a little bit too hot from that jump, so I'd almost, like, stand the bike up, but I didn't have that much lean angle. In that lap in particular, I landed the jump perfect, set the bike up how I wanted it, and I went to just like lean in more and get on the gas, like I guess a little bit sooner, because obviously the sooner you get on the gas, the faster it is and the more lean angle, and it just wasn't the right combination. I got on the gas maybe a little bit too hard. The front end got a little bit light and just started skating across that dry slick stuff. So I think it was just because I set the corner up better than I had done all main event, and that's what the result was.
So, like, in practice, I told you guys always quad net on-off in the corner.
Yeah. Was he the first guy to do that? Was Chase the first guy to do that?
That's the first guy I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
I think you were. Yeah.
Everyone, I was the first one to do it.
And then,
I knew I could do it, but...
Yeah, so, and then everyone else, the few guys behind him started doing it. But what's cool about Chase is he actually stood up and quadded it. The other guys had to seat bounce it, right?
Yeah.
And then they saw, oh shit, well I'm getting a little bit more air, so I got to start soaking it up and quadding, and that's what Chase started doing. He never really seat bounced it, It's impressive, dude. Like your style is very impressive to watch. It's very beautiful, and I'm jealous. Like we talked about this last time you were on the show where you got it, and man, it's a lot of riders are looking to his style now to how they ride.
Keep doing what you're doing, buddy.
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna. I mean, like that little mistake was, it wasn't great, but it was very minimal.
Yeah.
That I actually did wrong, and it ended up being a big crash, obviously, which is not good. But I feel like my riding's in a good spot, and like I said all day, I felt good. I wanted to go into that corner. If the corner never really formed, I felt like that great, but I wanted to go into the corner, quad in, 180 and seat bounce quad again out. But I never felt like the corner never really gave me the option because by the time we got out there, it was kind of already super rutted. But there was definitely more quads out there. There was a quad in the other rhythm section. So there's more out there.
At what point in time do you decide, okay, this isn't a step on, step off anymore, I can actually quad it? Do you decide in track walk, or is it something that you feel when you're riding?
Well, you pointed out in track walk.
Okay.
because I mean, honestly, nowadays the 450 can jump almost anything if you really want to, which is kind of it's kind of scary, but it's cool at the same time that how advanced the bikes are. But so you kind of pointed out on track walk, like the one in Phoenix, I saw that on press day because I was watching and I could see how they were jumping it. And I'm like, okay, that's doable for sure. And then this one, I was watching them ride press day again. I'm like, okay, well, it kind of looks like it has a pretty sharp transition, which I don't know if you're going to get the lift. But then when I rode it, I'm like, okay, you can definitely do it. And I actually watched Tomac go over the tabletop. So I started going over and just kind of messing with it a little bit. And then on one of my fast laps, I just decided I was going to do it. And I ended up making it pretty good. But it's just kind of a feel thing, like, and also looking at it because I always go on track walk, and there's so many jumps out there I feel like I can do, but I never end up doing them. So it's just kind of a feel thing.
That's where we walk around track walk and be like, that's doable, and we discuss that kind of stuff, right?
Stu was good at them.
Yeah, he was. Did you have a lot of family and friends there? This is the closest race to where you're from?
Not really.
Okay.
So I have a few pretty close races. I have that one. That was like 5 hours for me. And then I have Indy, which is 3, and St. Louis is 3, too, from where I used to live. So there will be more at those 2 races. I have press day at St. Louis, which is, I consider my home race.
Oh, okay.
Because that's right. I actually used to watch St. Louis every year when I was younger, and also Indy a few times. Actually, Indy, I ended up having a meltdown there because I think so. When I was really young, I was a really big fan of Ricky, and I think Chad beat Ricky there maybe 06 or something like that. I don't know. It was one of those years, and I threw an absolute tantrum in the stands, like crying, super mad. And then ever since then, I became a Chad fan. Obviously, Chad and Ricky, but more. Yeah. I was a huge fan of Chad, and that's kind of funny, though. When I say a meltdown, it was a meltdown.
Jeez, wow. That's funny.
I was very passionate.
No Tim Ferry love at all? Couldn't dig deep for Red Dog?
I mean, no, I love Timmy, but Chad was my guy back in the day.
All right. I get it.
It was a very strong.
Did you get any goggles or jerseys from guys after the races?
No, I was too shy. I was very shy growing up. I remember going. I was at Redbud, and that was the year Baggett, I think, was winning the 250 championship, and he ended up winning that year. Yeah. I went to his pit. Maybe this is the year. No, it was the year he was winning. I went to his pit, and I stood there for maybe, I don't know, it felt like an hour, but I was probably there for 30 minutes. And his wife actually came up to me because she saw me standing there, and I asked her. I finally got enough courage to ask her for a pair of goggles, and I didn't end up getting them, but it took me that long to ask for something, so I was kind of shy.
Dude, back in the day, like, to ask for a jersey and to get one was huge. It's not like today. Like, everyone just, can I have this? Yeah. Can I get that?
I asked Stanton for a jersey at Millville one year, and he was just like, he snapped him. He's like, no. And that's scary. It left such an imprint in me. I'm like, wow. I'm never asking for a jersey again because I'm like, these guys. Like, I didn't know, right? I was whatever year that was.
He probably got beat by Bale.
He probably was pissed. But I was like, okay, 6-time. Like, and now he's like the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
But back then, when you were a little kid, it scared me. So.
Now they ask for everything.
Dude, I know, right? Jesus. I know. I remember, getting back as a mechanic, getting back to the pits, and they were just swarming you. Can I have that? Can I have that? Can I have that? And you're just like, wow. Jeez, no even like Mr. or anything, like nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Renthal
bringing you Chase Sexton on the show, renthal.com. Please check that out if you can. The leading handlebar and sprocket and chain company out there. Great guys, renthal.com. We got a question for you, Chase, from Christian. Christian, go ahead. What's your question for Chase Sexton?
All right, Chase. Like, I know you absolutely wanted it this Saturday, but like, how does it feel to like being competitive in this huge class and like all these guys? I feel like this year's just getting really nutty, and like I don't know how you guys do it. Like, everybody's jumping quads and these weird lines, and like, how do you not crash like that like every week when the level's so high?
Well, yeah, Chase.
I mean, the level is very high. I think every year I've raced, it just keeps getting higher and higher. I'm pretty new to the 450 class since this is my second year, but it's awesome. Being able to race like Eli and Jason and Kenny and Mark, all those guys that I've grown up watching, now I'm in the spot where I'm capable of beating them and racing with them it's surreal. I love going to the races and being able, because last year it was kind of like I was frustrated because I wasn't quite to their speed, but this year I feel like I have what it takes to win straight up, and it's exciting because every weekend I go to the race, I'm confident, I'm excited, and it's just fun racing those guys. Like I said, the level is so elevated, and it's just cool to see. And on any weekend, guys from that got 8th the weekend before can win. I got 7th in Anaheim 3, almost won this weekend. So it's just cool to see like the flip flop, and everyone races pretty clean. I think it's been a little aggressive at the beginning of the season, but
Barsha's clean. Barsha's clean.
Wow.
He is.
Yeah, actually, I don't mess with, like, I don't really.
No, you can't.
You don't fuck with Barsha, dude. Don't fuck with him.
Hey! I love Barsha.
All right, thanks, Christian. I gotta go. You can't argue with the guest,
right.
Christian. Yeah, you don't want to screw with Barsha. Like, you don't want to get him going. You just get away. If you got to pass him, get away as soon as you can, and all of that. Right.
Yeah, I actually don't have a problem with him. I try and race him clean, and I think when you race somebody with respect, they kind of give it back to you. So I just try and, like, I was obviously race with respect, and Kenny and I think he tries the same thing too, and it's just Tomac. I actually really like racing him because I like racing all of them, but Tomac especially, like, you know what you're going to get with him. Like, if he's faster than you, he's going around you. He's not going to ride you dirty. He can obviously run you high in a corner, but he's not going to put you on the ground, and it's just fun racing those guys. So to answer this question, it's cool to be a part of such a intense year of racing, I guess. I should say.
You got the win, of course. You just talked about, you were almost fastest in every session in Minneapolis. You won your heat. You got behind Coop. You look like he's
led the second most
most laps. Jim, you raced at a high level for a long time. Your best result in the Supercross was 4th.
Yeah.
Kiefer, you raced as well at a high level. Must be a pretty cool feeling to be the fastest guy at a Supercross out of anybody, and
Chase is doing an excellent job. I mean, I like I said, it's a joy to watch him ride, and the way he dissects a track and figures things out. And like I said, last year was your rookie season. You made a lot of mistakes that you said yourself that you really didn't know what happened, but now you're maturing a little bit more, and now you know what happened. Last weekend in Minneapolis, and I look forward to be on the top of the box here in Dallas, man.
Does he remind you of Dogger at all on the riding style?
No way.
No, Bailey.
Bailey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Bailey didn't have as much elbows. Like, Chase has a lot of elbows in his riding style.
Right. Yeah, Dogger wasn't as aggressive.
If my elbows aren't up, I'm hearing it from my dad.
Yeah, I bet. It's awesome to watch for sure. And I mean, look. So to race this week, you're gonna have to pass a concussion test, which you'll be fine at, right? You feel like you'll be 100%.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I did a cycle today, and
right.
I had a call with his name is Dr. Burkhardt. He's actually based out of Dallas, but he's a guy that he's a really good neurologist, and had a FaceTime call with him, did some tests with like eye stuff and whatnot.
Yep.
And that's what I said. I haven't been nauseous. I haven't been dizzy or anything since the crash. Like, even at the crash, I wasn't like dizzy or anything. I mean, I was stumbling when I got up, but I feel like I was more in shock. So I did a bike ride today, and I felt like normal, perfectly fine. So I'm just going to ease back into riding this week and hopefully get a Triple Crown format done before I go to the race. And then, hopefully pass the test. But I think I'm in a good spot. I'm not one of those guys that's going to lie about my condition, because especially with a concussion, like, you don't really know. Like, you are the only one that really knows how you feel, I guess I should say. So I'm not going to like put myself out there if I'm going to be in danger. So that's kind of where I'm at. And like I said, when I'm telling you I feel fine, I do feel fine.
What were you running from when you were running away from the medics?
He was running from Anderson.
Well, I was trying to get up, and I was like, all right. I didn't know my wheel was all tacoed, so I was trying to get to my bike. And I'm like, I literally told the guy, I said, if I don't finish this race, I'm going to lose a lot of points. That's what I told him. And I was like, dude, I got to get back on the bike. I got to finish this race at least. Just let me get to the checkered flag.
Right.
And they weren't letting me because they saw me stumble, and I wasn't really, I probably shouldn't have. I mean, I felt like I was fine, like I said, but the race was pretty much over, and at that point my wheel was already done anyway. So they were trying to get me to not ride my bike, and then I was trying to get on the bike, and they weren't letting me. And then I was basically arguing with them, telling them that I'm fine. And they're like, "No, you're not fine." But I was like, "Dude, I feel like I'm not lying to you. I feel fine. I can't I got to finish the race." And obviously I didn't get to finish the race. Right. So that whole thing was, I was kind of the same way last year in Houston. I was arguing with them no, I didn't hit, I'm fine. My shoulder hurts, but I can walk off the track by myself. And they're just trying to do their job, and I was on to finish the race, obviously. So it was kind of a heated moment, but I said I was sorry after that, and for acting like a jerk.
You're back in Florida now. That's nice, right? You're going to enjoy that, but more than California, you told me.
Yeah, I'm back in Florida. So it's good. It's nice only driving 25 minutes to the track instead of an hour, and it's just nice being back in a slower paced area, because California is just, I feel like I'm always pinned out there. I never have time to kind of relax. Obviously you do, but you always feel like going to the track, everyone's driving crazy on the highway, and then here everything's relaxed. And I'm actually the one that is kind of driving like an idiot here, so it's just it's kind of funny. But no, I just enjoy being back here, and it's, like I said, slow paced, and me being from Illinois, I'm not used to the wide open traffic and whatnot. So it's nice to be back on East Coast dirt and just riding with a lot of my buddies at Tyler's, and the track gets rough. So it almost paid off this weekend, so hopefully we can try and finish the job in Dallas. And I always enjoy Dallas. The dirt's good, and I'm excited to hopefully get another chance at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Triple Crown stuff. We saw you win the one in Glendale, and probably would have ended up on the box overall if with Eli Eli riding so damn well at that thing.
Yeah.
How is Tyler's? Who do you ride with there? Who's currently with Rattray's program that you're at?
Yeah, it's just there's nobody. I think it's a lot of privateers, a lot of guys I've actually grew up riding with in Illinois. There's Jonah Geisler, his dad owns that Rides Limited team. His brother rides there. A buddy from Illinois, his name's Patrick Murphy. He's an amateur coming up.
Okay.
And then just a lot of privateers, and it's cool to ride with them, and it kind of keeps them it keeps it mellow, but also for me, my biggest focus is the main event, obviously, because the track is the roughest, and that's where I feel like I struggled last year. So if the track is rough and I can go out there and do my moto, I don't feel like I don't need somebody on me at Baker's Factory where there's 5 guys out there doing motos together. I just need the track to be race replica, and just me being able to go out there and do the motos and putting the laps and being able to adapt to those conditions. So that's been really good. The whoops have been getting chewed up and the turns and everything like that. So it's just nice to have that, because I didn't really have it last year, me being by myself at Stewart's pretty much. So it's just nice having that, and having people to talk to at the practice track is cool.
Right. Anything else for Chase Sexton?
Just good luck in Dallas, and try to win all 3 main events.
Yeah, which he can.
Yeah, he can.
He's been getting great starts.
Yeah.
Good starts.
Yeah, the starts were actually not that great last weekend, but the outcome was good. The start, I wasn't really comfortable with that whole drop-off thing. I don't know why, but my starts were actually not that great. I just seemed to come out of the first corner good.
Yeah, you started second in the main, so that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that was all right.
No, I know, but Cooper actually he pulled the whole shot, so it made my start feel really bad because his was so good, but I ended up coming out good.
How's your bike setup? Have you changed it much since you won?
I actually did change it a lot, and now I'm back to something similar, because I kind of got those, what was it? It was A2, I ran pretty much the same thing, and then I went and tried to change and kind of reinvent the wheel a little bit for, what was it, Phoenix after that. And I didn't really feel that good at Phoenix. I didn't feel comfortable. I definitely didn't feel comfortable at Anaheim 3. And then I just told myself I'm going back to what I basically won on, because at least I know there's something there.
Yep.
So that's why I raced this weekend, and it was pretty good. It wasn't obviously perfect, but it was something I'm familiar with. And at the end of the day, with the 450, it's something that you know what it's going to do. It's not going to be perfect, but at least you know what what's happening. It's not going to do anything funny on you.
Yeah, it looks like it's really balanced when you're riding it. And it could just be you and your style. But I mean,
I'm super sensitive to balance, so that's my biggest thing. I can't have it too high in the rear, and I can't have it too low. I have to have it somewhere in the middle, because I don't like when it's off. Obviously people like Kenny, he actually likes it a little bit higher in the rear, which I'm not comfortable with, and so I'm super sensitive to that.
Well, do me a favor. Don't change anything. Just change that front wheel and go to Dallas.
Just more hot Giselle and less of her faults. So some more hot Giselle, please.
There we go.
I'll remember that on Saturday. Good for you.
He's going to be on the line.
Awesome.
I'm thinking of Giselle.
Thanks for calling in, Chase. I appreciate it, man. I know it didn't go the way you wanted to, but I know that people, our listeners, wanted to hear from you, and yeah, bummer. But I got a feeling it won't be too long before you're back up on top of the podium. That's for sure, riding the way you are.
Yeah, it's all good. Live to fight another day, and I'm excited to keep moving forward and keep learning. So thanks for having me on, Steve.
Thanks, Chase. All right, see you later.
Yeah.
That's Chase Sexton, everybody. Brought to you by the folks at Renthal. Renthal.com. Are you running Renthal right now?
No.
On one of your